Hey there, so today we have another basic beers and we're doing Belgian Golden Strong Ale. That's the style we're focusing on today. And what we have here is Duvel. So some people might say Duvel, but it's Duvel. And this is the classic beer in the style. And so yeah, actually have an interview with them in a couple days. Really excited about that. Really hoping I get that. So I got my fingers crossed. But not only doing this video, but also obviously doing some research with it too. It's helpful to obviously have the products of a brewery that you're going to be interviewing for. So let's talk more about this beer. So this is the original beer. This started by the Morkat family after World War I in reply to Pilsners. So obviously this is a little bit different than a Pilsner. Comes in at 8.5%, much bigger beer, but it is still beautiful, pale, and highly carbonated. So it's leaning in that sense. But before we talk more about let's talk about the brewery a little bit. So if you guys don't know Duvel Morkat, they're actually really big. They're one of, according to the Brewers Association, one of the largest breweries in the world. They do a lot of brands you guys might not know already. Maritzos, Liefmans, De Schoof, Boulevard, Firestone Walker, Omegang. So that's all under the Duvel Morkat umbrella. So let's think of the beer. So the beer comes in a straw to light gold color, really pale looking beer. So it's just like full Pilsner malt. And the first thing you'll notice is that there's a big fluffy white head here. And they promote that on the glass. I don't know if, I don't have a Duvel glass, but if you see, the Duvel glass is really big and it fits more than enough for the bottle, but it allows, this is, I believe, one of the largest glasses I have, and this is how you're supposed to pour. The beer is highly, highly carbonated. Having had a few of these before, even just trying to pour gently, you're gonna create this beautiful head. It has a lot of carbonation to it and it creates this beautiful head. I mean, that's just a gorgeous looking beer. Let's get the aroma on it. Yes. So it has a really wonderful kind of like grainy sweetness, these like crackers and a little bit of like, crackers and just like a little bit of like sugary qualities in here. It's actually re-fermented in the bottle. That's why it has this beautiful carbonation, but also there is some sugar added to it. So it really helps drive up the alcohol, dry out the beer really nicely. But it actually smells like there's a little bit of just like plain sugar put on a cracker biscuit kind of thing. And then there's this beautiful fruitiness in there. If you guys don't do it already, maybe go at night to your supermarket, but like when not too many people are looking at you, pick up some pears and just start smelling them. And I did this recently, and you'll get a different kind of aroma from like a Bartlett pear to an Asian pear. Again, there's the ones with like the kind of crispy, sandy kind of skin. There's one with the really smooth skin. It's just a different kind of aroma from each, and I'm sort of getting a marriage of those, maybe a little bit of orange as well. It smells fantastic. Cheers. Has a beautiful beer. First introduction, obviously, is this beautiful head that the beer has and really offers this complexity of creaminess on the palate, but then when the beer hits, it's so dry. 8.5%, this is dangerous stuff. I would argue even more dangerous than some of your like triples out there, and also even like other beers in style, like your Delirium Tremens. It's such a lean beer, at 8.5%. I'm getting tons more of that kind of pear flavor up front, cooked pear peel, sweet pear, maybe a little bit of orange zest driving in there, more of that kind of light sugary quality in the middle, a little bit of like grainy sweetness, a little bit of that light kind of just like pale grainy malt. On the back end, there's a little bit of light floral grassy kind of bitterness, really crisp. It dries out so aggressively. And then as you wait more, there's a little bit of spice quality in there as well. Sorry, maybe a little bit of like, it's like a little bit clovey, maybe, touching in there, maybe a little bit of nutmeggy kind of thing. It has a little bit of this nice spicing to it, but the beautiful head retention really sits on the palate. So you get this really wonderful complexity of a rocky head, along with a really crisp, dry beer that's lightly prickly and very carbonated. This has to be one of the higher carbonated beers. That, granted, in the Belgian style, you're going to have highly carbonated beers, but and it's just like champagne-like. Garrett Oliver actually recommends that you can even put this in a champagne flute because you're going to build that wonderful, beautiful head, and you get to see the beautiful carbonation rising in there, a wonderful, elegant kind of presentation. So what is this style? The most familiar style, obviously, so we have to explain to you guys, Belgian Golden Strong Ale. Then there's obviously Belgian Dark Strong Ale, which is your quads and your Rocheforts and your Chimay and St. Bernard's 12 and your Westies. So that's a different style, obviously. This one, most analogous style will be a triple. And actually it is very confusing between the two. You have two highly carbonated, pale Belgian beers that do ride on a good amount of spicy phenolics and fruity esters. So like, what's the difference? In general, the Belgian Golden Strong Ale is going to be a little bit more dry, paler, maybe a little bit more bitter. It's going to play on the fruity elements a little bit more, less on the spice, and it's really going to drive on that pear quality and the palm fruit that I'm talking about. So your apples, your pears, quince, and other fruits in that range. Whereas the triple is going to be a little bit more rounded. Both are extremely dangerously drinkable beers in the style, in their respective styles, but that's sort of the difference. It's a little hard sometimes, so don't be worried if you get tricked between the two, but absolutely delicious beer. Until next time, guys, cheers. Let me know what you think about the Belgian Golden Strong Ale. Until next time, later.